This epic piece is one of the most complex and cryptic things that Bowie has ever recorded. The images are highly metaphorical, and it's hard to get a grip on the meaning. Musically, too, it is a very liquid piece, reminiscent of the kind of theatrical poetry introduced into rock music by the Doors. There's nothing else we can do but jump in the river and try to swim.
It's safe in the city to love in a dull way, to wrangle some screams from the door.
We are still in Hunger City. In the preceding tracks we've learned that there are citizens who are more fortunate and live in sterile skyscrapers, but then we saw that our hero actually prefers to go down to street level and dwell in the nuclear shroud. Now, we hear that he actually feels safer here, in the foggy streets, safer than in the sterility of his own abode. He finds this safety when he is in the arms of someone else, and in places that are passageways, in a doorway between two places, or at the moment between night and day. It suggests that there is no place where he feels at home, so he has to live in a twilight zone.
And isn't it neat? Putting pain in a stranger, like a portrait in flash or trails on a leash.
One of the main themes of the piece is revealed: alienation. Throughout the piece, the hero will be trying to find his real me. He felt safe for a while as he had sex in the doorway, but after it's over, he realizes that his partner is a stranger to him, and he was merely pouring his pain into her for a while. There was no love here, just a sexual encounter between two aliens. Moreover, he is a stranger to himself. He is a portrait in flesh, sketched by society, and he just plays the part ordained for him. This fake identity that he carries is of a trained dog, which is pulled by a leash. He feels that this is not what he really is, inside.
Will you see that I'm scared and I'm lonely? So I'll break up my room and yawn and I'll run to the center.
After the indifferent way he sang the opening lines, the singer breaks out in a howl of pain. He wants something more than sex. He wants a relationship where his partner can actually see him for who he is. But he can't find it, and being alone, he is scared, lonely, and bored. So he breaks up his room, destroys his inner sanctum, and runs to the center of things, to a place where he can be in the company of many, and lose himself in the crowd.
It's a sweet thing. Boys, it's a sweet thing, sweet thing.
If you want it, boys,
Get it here, thing. Boys, it's a cheap thing, cheap thing.
In that center of things, there's someone who sells hope. Hope that there is something else, something sweet and real. It is probably someone that our hero idolizes. A religious figure, a political figure, a rock star, a DJ. Bowie's vocal turns seductive, as this knowing one is promising hope for a different kind of reality. But this kind of hope, this dreaming about a different world, is actually just another way to not face up to himself. It is a sedative, a sweet thing that makes life more bearable.
I'm glad that you're older than me. Makes me feel important and free. Does that make you smile? Isn't that me? I'm in your way, and I'll steal every moment. If this train is a curse, then I'll bless you and turn to the crossroads of hamburgers.
It's a sweet thing. Boys, it's a sweet
Our hero continues to find himself in the eyes of others. He is a teen rebel, flouting the rules of the adult world and enjoying every moment that he stands in their way. "Isn't that me?" he asks, thinking that he finds himself in those moments when he distinguishes himself from the crowd. But actually, he is merely defining himself by way of negation, not by something that comes from within. Bowie seems to be debunking the whole 60s myth of the generational battle, of the young generation's struggle for freedom, seeing it now as nothing but a pose. When he turns to look for something more authentic in the crossroads of Hamburg, he is invoking and juxtaposing two pop myths. The crossroads, the place where bluesman Robert Johnson allegedly sold his soul to the devil, the place that for bluesmen came to signify those moments in life when your fate is decided. And the Beatles, whose year's stint in Hamburg was where they gained their special sound and look that gave them the edge over other English bands. That crossroads, where the Beatles found their way, was a turning point in the history of pop and in the history of Western culture, and, some would say, in the history of humanity. However, Bowie now presents it as merely another sweet thing, another false hope in a capsule. Did we really find our way in the crossroads of Hamburg, or did we sell our soul to the devil? Now, the music changes and becomes even darker, and we slip into Candidate. This song, whose original recording surfaced only years later, started out as a rather simple tune, probably part of the ditched 1984 project. Lyrically, though, it is quite ambiguous, and it seems that the singer is a rock star in a repressive society who is moving into politics and trying to convince us to vote for him. He sells himself as a rebel, but it seems that the whole thing is ironic, and we get that he is also just a cog in the machine. For Diamond Dogs, the song is cut up and reworked, and inserted into Sweet Thing, becoming something quite different.
I'll make you a deal, like any other candidate. You'll pretend we're walking home, cause your future's at stake.
These two lines are a cut-up from the original Candidate. In the original tune, he offers us a deal. "I'll make you a deal. I'll say I come from Earth and my tongue is taped. I'll make you a deal. You can get your kicks on the candidate. I'll make you a deal. For your future's sake, I'm the candidate. Let's pretend we're walking home." He is offering himself as our candidate, a semblance of a rebel, a semblance of a political figure who is going to change things, someone we can get our kicks on for a while, and feel like we have power. But actually, it is just a game, and we have no power at all. The system calls all the shots. The "pretend we're walking home" line, which recurs several times in the original song, brings to mind the characters in 1984 who are seemingly free to go wherever they want, but know that if they just roam aimlessly, they will arouse suspicion and be eliminated by the all-powerful system. So wherever they go, they see to it that it would seem like they are on their way home. Here, however, we find a different picture, as it is put into the broader context of Sweet Thing. Our hero is still looking for himself, still looking for someone else who can see him for what he is, and this candidate is just someone that, he fancies, could be the one who gives him what he wants. The "pretend we're walking home," I think, is just a game. Hunger City is not always London, and no one will eliminate you if you roam around, but the kids like to pretend that their future will be at stake if they do, so they play the Orwellian game.
My set is amazing, it even smells like a street. There's a bar at the end where I could meet you and your friend.
Our hero, we said, likes to be part of the street scene, so he is drawn to this set that gives a smell of a street. In that hidden bar, he can meet with others who feel like him, and form a little secret society, pretending to be revolutionaries.
Someone scrawled on the wall, I smell the blood of their tree cutters. Wrote out scandals in other bars.
The candidate segment is laced with French words, connecting us to the revolutionary spirit of French youth. Les Tricoteuses, French for the knitters, is a name given to a group of women who would sit by the guillotine during the Reign of Terror, and while knitting away, determine whether the people who were brought before them should be executed. They were, then, part of the revolution, who betrayed the spirit of it. Here, the name refers to revolutionaries who wrote seditious slogans on the walls of other bars, but the patrons of this bar rebel against them, believing they are now the oppressors who should be killed. We are caught in a vicious cycle in which any revolutionary eventually becomes the oppressor.
Having so much fun with the poisonous people, spreading rumors and lies and stories they made up. Some make you sing and some make you scream. One makes you wish that you've never been.
The sense of futility is enhanced as this secret society that convenes in the bar is branded by our hero as poisonous people. It is a double-edged term. They think they are the poison in the machine, spreading rumors and lies in order to destabilize it, but they are actually just filling their own lives with venom.
There's a shop on the corner that's selling papier-mâché, making bulletproof faces, darling, as you catch it, play it if you want it. Boys, better hear this.
To defend themselves from the poison, the kids hide behind masks of countercultural heroes. It is another damning comment on contemporary pop culture, with its idolization of heroes, which Bowie previously described as finding extensions of yourself, but here is defined as nothing but escape from yourself.
So you scream out of line, I want you, I need you. Anyone out there? Anytime? Say whistling on the wine, say dirty, I want you. When it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, I go to be safe. I want it. Boys, get it here,
Occasionally, someone tries to break out and ask for something more authentic. But then this, too, is made into a slogan and sold as a sweet thing.
on the street where you live, I put my hold on my head, for I put all I had in another bed, on another floor, in the back of the car, in a cellar like a church with a door jar.
In a growing spirit of desperation, our hero recounts all the times he tried to find something real by giving himself to others. But it was all just meaningless sex, and it only made him lose more and more of himself, and even lose his beloved streets, as every corner brings memories of his sleazy affairs, making him too ashamed to walk in them.
Well, I guess we must be looking for a different kind, but we can't stop trying till we break up our minds, till the sun drips love on the seedy young night, to bless you on the ground while kicking and fighting.
Despite all his past failures, he just keeps on trying, doing the same things over and over again, hoping he will find a different kind of experience. He can see no end to it, and reckons he and his peers will just keep on going until the sun drips blood, probably a metaphor for the end of days. However, when he realizes how futile it is, he decides that there is only one way to break out of this cycle.
I guess we could cruise down one more time, with you on my side it should be fine. We'll buy some drugs and watch a band, and jump in a river holding hands.
The true nature of the deal is finally revealed. The candidate he was looking for was a candidate for a suicide pact. Let's play the game of sex, drugs and rock and roll one more time, and then throw ourselves into the river and end it all. But then, after the resolution to buy some drugs, they find a pusher who sells his merchandise in the exact same way that everyone else does, promising a sweet thing. And so we are back into sweet thing, and the moment of clarity fades into a drug haze.
If you want it, boys, get it here, thing. 'Cause hope, boys, is a cheap thing, cheap thing. Is it lights in your snowstorm, freezing your brain? Do you think that your face looks the same? Then let it be. It's all I ever wanted. It's a street with a deal and a taste. It's got balls, it's got
In a drug stupor, he forgets about the decision to end it all. He feels that he found what he wanted, something that has a taste of the streets, something that feels like a good deal, something that feels like it has claws, and thus represents the diamond dog inside. It's a dead-end street, and he knows it, but he doesn't care. He feels like he finally found himself, found a better existence, and so he drifts into the snowstorm, becoming a junkie. The youth culture of the 60s aspired to present a meaningful alternative to the meaningless world of the adults. In the face of a drab society, they dressed up colorfully to represent a distinct identity, and in opposition to the Puritan, industrial world, they presented the way of life of sex, drugs, and rock and roll that was supposed to be freer and more spiritual. Bowie, in his Ziggy Stardust guise, tried to carry on this legacy and appropriate it for the 70s. But now, Sweet Thing damns it all to hell. The dressing up game is described as a meaningless masquerade. The sex and drugs and rock and roll lifestyle is shown to be a tired routine that doesn't do anything for the spirit anymore except drag it down, and the revolution is nothing but mean-spirited poison. Let It Be, the Beatles' message of hope, here becomes an expression of giving up on life. And so, the system continues to grow stronger. The music changes into a grinding sound, propelled by a rhythm lifted from Noy's 1972 track Negative Land, today considered one of the starting points of electronic and industrial music, as the system is grinding what is left of the human spirit into dust, in an increasingly faster pace. Our hero, after all his ordeals, has been rendered powerless to resist it, and his song is taken over by the machine. But then, out of nowhere, a new sound comes in.